Ever find yourself stuck in the same conversation with prospects where they're focused on price and you're trying to convey your value? Well, you're not alone in this. Most people that offer professional services also struggle with the same obstacle. And the good news is it doesn't have to stay that way. Hey, I'm Carlos Garcia, and I'm an Exactly What to Say certified guide, and I'm a sales coach for professional service providers, ranging from accounting services all the way through creative services. And today, I'm going to share with you 3 strategies so that you can focus more on selling value instead of selling price. By the end of this video, you're going to have practical strategies to position yourself as a high-value expert, navigate through pricing conversations with confidence, and learn exactly what to say and exactly what to ask so that you could be more influential and impactful. So let's dive in. So let's talk about positioning. Positioning is how your prospects see you in the marketplace compared to your competitors. When they are overwhelmed with options, the only thing that's going to make you different is your level of expertise, what kind of results that you bring, and what are the things that make you more uniquely qualified to solve their specific problem. So why is this important? Because research has shown that prospect actually completes more than half of their research before coming up with a decision to speaking with you. So they've already formed an opinion in their mind of what they think you're worth before they even have the first conversation with you. So positioning yourself is everything. If your services appear indistinguishable from your competitors, then your buyers are going to default to price alone. Now, what are the things that your prospects are evaluating before they assign a value to who you are as a service provider to them? First, they're going to see if you have a website. What is the quality of your website? What language do you use in there? Do you have testimonials? Do you have success stories? Do you have proven results of clients that you've helped in the past that are like them? One of the things that Phil Jones likes to talk about is in the buyer's mind, before they think about hiring you, they ask these 3 questions. Have you done this before? Have you done it for someone like me? And have you done it recently? So what does that mean? Having reviews, testimonials, case studies help tremendously. Now, having social media presence in today's age is more important than ever, where you have podcasts or you're creating videos where you are leveraging your expertise and authority. This also elevates your value and helps you differentiate yourself from the competition. So here are 3 quick actions you want to do to elevate your positioning and differentiate yourself. First, create content. Content specifically around the problems that you solve, and you can showcase your expertise so that you can build more trust with your potential customers and they feel like they know you at a deeper level. Your personal brand does make a difference when you're trying to create an emotional connection with potential customers. Second, make sure your website is crisp, clear, and has very specific messaging rather than generic messaging around what are the things that you talk about. Instead of talking about who you are and what you do, focus more on the client and what outcomes do they get as a result of working with you. Third, have testimonials and reviews and make sure that they are recent and the client language talks about the results and the things that matters to your future potential customers. Now, the second concept focuses mostly on selling value instead of focusing on the price conversation. Now, how do you do this? Well, it stems from one of the 4 cornerstones of conversational excellence that comes from the Exactly What to Say methodology, which is that curiosity is the fuel to great conversations. What does this mean? That those who show up to conversations being more curious and asking more questions, they have a greater advantage of building rapport and being able to lead themselves to a place of empathy so that they can understand the prospect's problem at a deeper level. One of the mistakes that low value professionals do is they try to show up to conversations with the I know best mentality. I know what they need. Let me just tell them why they should hire me. Let me try to push them on why my services are better. And what they find themselves is getting stuck competing for price. Instead, if you can stay curious, you can gain more context about the prospect's situation and problem. And in their mind, they feel like you're touching a little button inside their brain that's called the show me that you know me button. So the better you can understand the prospect's problem, the more they're going to trust you with the solution. Now, the good news is that I'm going to share with you 4 key questions that you can ask in any and every discovery call so that you can build more trust, you can better understand the prospect's problem. By showing curiosity and asking great questions, your prospect will recognize that you are someone who is thoughtful and equipped to solve their kind of problem. The first question that I love to ask as an expert professional to any and every person that comes to me saying, Carlos, I need your services is, what are you looking to accomplish? Now, when you ask the question, what are you looking to accomplish? With a tone of curiosity, hey, just out of curiosity, what is it you're looking to accomplish? Most of the times what I have found is that folks tend to open up and they do this thing that's called a brain dump. They'll give you about 5 to 10 minutes of really good, important information about the source of the problem, how long it's been going on, what they've tried in the past, and it helps you gain context of where you can position yourself as the expert to see if even they qualify for you to be able to solve that problem for them. So it's a really great open-ended question to open up and know where to take the conversation next. I would recommend to ask this 100% of the time of every conversation you have. It's a great way to position where you want to take the conversation next. Now, the second question that I love to ask in every initial conversation with a potential customer is, what is your experience? Hey, what is your experience in working with an accounting professional like myself? Hey, what is your experience in working with a real estate professional like myself in the past? So what this does is you're actually setting a baseline so that you can understand their existing perspective of what it is to work with someone like you. If they worked with someone like you in the past, then they're going to either tell you, yes, I've worked with someone like you in the past, and here was my experience. You get this baseline of how much they paid in the past, or what kind of value they were getting, or what was some of the services, whether the service quality was really high or the service quality was not so good. So if they say I had a bad experience, or they were great, or whatever answer they give you, it's a reference point for you to know where you can take the conversation next. It allows you to understand their basis of knowledge around what it looks like to work with an expert like yourself. It's also an opportunity for you to position your value, because when you say, what is your experience in working with an expert professional like myself, using the words expert professional in their mind is already positioning for them to say, oh, this is someone who's different than someone I've worked with in the past. So it's also a great positioning strategy by strategically being curious and asking this question. One of my favorite ways to ask this question is the moment that your prospect says, hey, I'd like to work with you. I'd like to know, how much do you charge? What is your fee? What is your commission? What is your rate? When they ask you for the price, this is a great opportunity to respond with, I'd love to go over those options with you, but before I do, would you mind if I ask you a few questions? I'm curious, what is your experience in working with someone like me in the past? So by doing this, you're flipping the conversation and you're staying focused on helping them understand what they know about, what reference point do they have around what the investment would be or the cost would be in order to work with you. It also allows you to delay a little bit around talking about the price because you haven't created enough value yet and you haven't understood their problem at a deep level. You don't even know if you're qualified to solve their problem because you're still getting to know each other. So it's a nice way for you to slow down the process before you come back with presenting options, solutions, and prices to them. Now, the third concept are called simple swaps. These are words or phrases you want to stop using and instead start using higher value words and phrases so that you can elevate in the prospect minds the perception of your value. Let's start with the first word. Stop saying the word cost. Start saying the word investment. Cost implies to the prospect that this is an expense to them when hiring you. Instead, when you say this is going to be the investment amount, they are going to immediately think about the return that they're going to get as a result of working with you. Stop saying the word risky. Using the word risky connotates to the prospect that there is fearful and doubt and uncertainty when taking an approach like this. Instead, use the word innovative. What this does, it frames it in a positive tone where it's going to be forward-looking and strategic. Stop saying the word discount and instead say the word preferred price. Whenever you're negotiating terms with a prospect, don't give them a discount because they're going to get the perception that your service is worth less. Instead, when they get a preferred price, they feel more exclusive and that they're getting a deal because of the relationship or the commitments that they're making in working with you. Stop saying problem and start saying challenge. The word problem implies that this is heavy and difficult. Instead, when you're saying challenge, it's got a more positive connotation and a more forward-looking, solution-driven approach. Stop saying, I think, because that shows uncertainty and inexperience. Instead, you want to say, here's what I know. And that connects more towards the experience you've had in the past, and that demonstrates more confidence to the eyes of the prospect. Stop saying cheap. Instead, say options that fit in your budget. Saying cheap implies low quality. Saying options that fit within your budget still focuses on them getting value while being able to afford you. When a client is uncertain about your ability to solve their problem, they're going to ask you, will you be able to do this on time? Are you sure you're going to be able to fix this? Or how certain are you? A lot of low value professionals say the word hopefully. Stop saying hopefully. Instead, say, in my experience, this is what I know. That gives the prospect a lot more certainty, and at least they appreciate your honesty and your confidence in at least showing what you do know. Hopefully sounds uncertain and passive, where if you say, in my experience, you sound more knowledgeable and dependable. Okay, so let's recap what we covered today. First, we talked about the importance of positioning. Everything that your prospect is doing before they have their first conversation matters. So make sure that you are positioning yourself in the marketplace as that expert professional that is uniquely positioned to solve your prospect's problem, and you elevate your value. Secondly, is focusing more on value conversation instead of price-focused conversation. Some of the questions that you can ask will help you better navigate the price conversation when it comes up with confidence. And lastly, learn how to use powerful words that elevate value instead of erode the value. Leverage these magic phrases so that you can be more effective and influential in your conversations. If you found these strategies super helpful, do me a favor and hit a like button and subscribe to the channel if you're watching this for the first time. And then add a comment below. What was your biggest takeaway? I'm curious to learn more.